The Dark Dominion Sequence, Book 2, Godsbane. Written by R.A. Williamson. Epilogue. The vast Kviokhi mothership, Tam Bronkul, drifted deep in the shimmering depths of null space with her escort of destroyers and frigates. She was an immense, sleek craft over 5 kilometers long, her black hull covered with large blisters of sensor arrays and weapon emplacements. To most of the galaxy, null space was a little understood dimension existing within space-time, a realm for translight travel following well-charted gravitational currents. But for the Kviokhi, it had become their native land, and they sailed secret routes unknown to anyone else in the galaxy. Deep within the colossal ship, Kviokhi turned to the side to examine her profile in the mirror under the soft light bathing the Spartan nursery that now doubled as her quarters. The black silk dress she'd chosen for today's audience was subtly embroidered with clashium thread, and the silver-blue accents highlighted her shimmering pewter complexion. She was tall for a Kviokhi woman, with an athletic build enhanced by the cut of the gossamer fabric she smoothed over her hips with a trace of nervousness as she turned and eyed her reflection critically. She'd piled her gunmetal hair on top of her head, held fast by silver pins tipped by blue topaz, and wore a simple platinum choker adorned with a large blood-red garnet that matched the chandelier earrings she'd decided not to wear today. Her ward had a habit of trying to eat them. "What do you think, Tari? Too much?" she asked the infant the high priest had assigned her to protect and care for. For her dread lord to entrust the cosmic conduit of divine pain and eternal essence's well-being to her was a grave responsibility and the highest honor. "No," the teething 1-year-old replied, drooling around the fist in her mouth. She was standing unsteadily, using the bed to move across the room, and looked over at Kviokhi. "Nah," Kviokhi corrected, the falling pitch creating a deeper, more somber quality to the sound. "No, Kaka," the little girl said with a pout. Kviokhi moved over and crouched beside her, switching to Dominion Standard. "Kala is an Ashrata name. You are no longer one of them. You never were. You are Kviokhi, the cosmic conduit of divine pain and eternal essence. You are of the eternal realm of the current now, and your name is Tari. Say Tari. Ta-ri." She stressed the high-pitched ta, followed by a quick, light ri with a tapped r sound. "Ta-ta," Kala repeated. "Very good. Vati ida sunda." Kviokhi smiled and picked up a ball. "Now, what's this?" "Pear." Kala reached for it. "Pelk," Kviokhi corrected her, elongating the sound and finishing with a sharp, popping ejective k that echoed in the quiet room. "Da," Kala said impatiently, grabbing at the toy. "Da," Kviokhi corrected with confidence, letting the long, drawn-out and high-toned R ring out clearly as she handed Kala the ball. "Give. Very good. You learned that one on your own. Clever girl." "Kana mecha." "Udi," Kala complained. "Kipa." "Hungry? Hudi, I just fed you, greedy one." "Nah, bottle of milk right now." "Adu na kshilpatel." We have an audience with a very important person. The Pradhan Duwiuchvaka isn't one to be kept waiting. Come now, up, up. Urch. The high-toned word dropped off sharply with a harsh, guttural sound, like Kviokhi was simultaneously clearing her throat and mimicking a cat's hiss. Kala let her caretaker pick her up, and Kviokhi set the child on her hip, kissing the smooth top of her shaved head. Kala's tawny skin was already taking on a subtle bluish sheen from the colloidal silver treatments, but it would be several years before her complexion matched Kviokhi's deep blue-grey luster, and longer still for her nails and the sclera of her eyes to match. "Nah," Kala complained, reaching behind her head to finger the metallic neural shunt implanted at the base of her skull. Nah. I know, Tari. You hate it. But it's for your own safety. Sidyui tickled Kala's tummy. Yours and everyone else's. You're far too powerful. Now stop pouting. Sidyui left the nursery with Kala and made her way down the corridor. Men and women stopped abruptly and fell to their knees at their approach, touching their brows to the polished deck and muttering prayers. Eventually they reached the audience chamber, and Sidyui took a deep breath as the great doors slid open with a low hiss. The vast space beyond was lit by braziers, flickering with living flame, and their incense-spiced smoke curled upward, and the room hummed with the agonized lowing of the sacrificial offerings arrayed on living biotechnical cruciform frames below the high dais. The Pradhan Duyuhvaka, chief voice of the god's void, high priest of priests, and prince of the ascended, sat in an obsidian throne at the summit of the dais, his face hidden by the dark shadows of a deep cowl. Sidyui, indifferent to the suffering of the infidel men and women tortured past the point of madness to feed the insatiable hunger of the gods, genuflected at the base of the steps and lowered her head, shifting Kala on her hip as the child whimpered and clung tighter. Approach, child, the high priest intoned in Xiale. Sidyui straightened and mounted the steps, climbing slowly to the top, where she genuflected again. The cosmic conduit of divine pain and eternal essence is come, the high priest said, leaning forward. Is she adapting to life in the eternal realm of the current, whispered flame of divine offering? Yes, my dread lord, Sidyui replied, keeping her head lowered. She is learning our ways quickly, but is stubborn to embrace her true name. She is an infant, and assimilation takes time. The high priest spread his hands, which bore only 3 elongated fingers and a thumb, each digit ending in long, curving nails like claws. Her transformation into one of the ascended will commence soon enough. He reached up with his inhuman hands to pull back his cowl. Kala began crying, clinging to Sidyui tighter, for his face wasn't that of a man. Instead of a mouth or nose, he possessed a sharp beak, surrounded by a half-dozen long, writhing tentacles, while his deep-set eyes gleamed as silver orbs with slitted pupils. A ridged forehead rose sharply back into a bald, elongated skull marked by bony protrusions, and his blue skin reflected the light with an otherworldly iridescence. He leaned toward them, and his tentacles reached out to caress Kala's bald head. She instantly became still and regarded him silently with wide eyes. After a time, he drew back and nodded, pulling his cowl back over his alien features. Her divine speech burns with unmatched potential, as our ancestors prophesied. I look forward to overseeing her ascension as one touched by Duyao. When she comes of age, the grand conflagration will begin. The child growing inside her shouldn't exist. Sarai Kviokhi is an immortal, one of the Dominion's elite psionically gifted operatives, augmented from childhood to serve as the personal weapons of the Name, the self-proclaimed god who has ruled 10,000 worlds for 3 millennia. She was born into the serf caste, genetically incompatible with the divine elite. She should never have been able to conceive the Name's child. When a failed assassination attempt leaves her stranded on a desolate moon with no memory of who she was, her impossible pregnancy becomes the most dangerous secret in the galaxy. Factions move to claim Sarai and her unborn child. Abolitionists who need a symbol, terrorists who need a weapon, and the Name himself, who will rewrite his own theology before he lets a slave girl unravel the lie holding his empire together. Sarai just wants to disappear and raise her daughter somewhere quiet with the childhood love she can't remember. An immortal sent to kill her, who committed treason the moment he saw her face. But no corner of the Dominion is remote enough to hide her, and so she must choose. Stand and fight on her terms, or run forever. The galaxy is about to discover a god's weapon has become a mother, and nothing in his dominion was designed to survive that. Visit darkdominionseries.com for updates and exclusive content.